I think we are live. All right. It looks like we are live once again. Just doing this straight from Facebook. So hopefully no streaming issues, anything like that. Nothing to share on the screen tonight. Give a chance for some folks to join in. Welcome to Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge. Jazz night. Happy feet night. Happy feet. We'll give everybody a few more seconds to join in. Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. Looks like we got a nice little group of folks watching in. I hope everyone's safe out there, virus-wise and emotionally, physically, mentally. I mean, it's been a crazy week, and this was originally scheduled for Tuesday. I normally go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays here locally, and then Saturday. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And on Tuesday morning, when I went to go start to promote, I did notice the musician and dancer blackout. And so we wanted to honor that activity. And I know that that was interpreted a lot of different ways from people. So we just wanted to show our support. And again, I hope everyone's safe out there. We definitely hope people start to listen, start to hear, and make some changes, especially for myself teaching this dance, obviously primarily African American movement, culture, the roots of it. So we want to recognize, we hope people start to get heard. We hope people start treating each other with respect, because at the end of the day, it takes every individual to treat people with respect. So we did go black on Tuesday, and so this is our new session this month for the College of Swing Era Knowledge. And so I want to acknowledge that I'm very grateful for being able to teach an African American dance for so many years. I want to acknowledge Black Lives Matters. I want to acknowledge everything and make sure that we're safe out there and treating people with respect. So as we move forward, tonight, for the College of Swing Era Knowledge, we are going to do something called the Camel Walk for our jazz topic. So our focus is going to be the Camel Walk. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to break it down. We're going to work on the movement a little bit. And then at the end of the session, I'm going to share some other YouTube links that I found that I think were interesting. And I think you're going to be surprised at the end, the very, very end, where we take this cool move called the Camel Walk. And so, all right, everybody, let's get up. Let me get this screen going here. I think that looks pretty good. All right. So, once again, for those of you that joined in a little late, welcome to College of Swing Era Knowledge. Tonight's topic is jazz, and our focus is the Camel Walk. Let me just show it to you real quick. So it's like you're just kind of walking down the street, and you got this little kind of movement here. On the back. Okay, so I think a lot of the jazz steps, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I think it's a little loud. Okay. I think some of the coolest jazz moves are just cool walking, exaggerated walking, if you will. And you're going to see what I mean by this. So, okay, here's how we're going to start to break this down. I literally want you to just start doing a little heel-toe movement. Let me turn to the side. Boom, boom. So this is all we're going to do is just kind of switch our feet. Switch, switch. Let me turn to the back. Switch, 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 switch. I'm going to keep rotating, so you can see all the angles. Boom. So I'm literally just doing this. Boom, boom, boom. So let me go from the back now so we can do this all together. So if I start by sending my left, my rolled up pant leg is my left. If I just take my left toe, and I want you to actually think this time about the knee, and I take that out or forward, then my right leg is going to be straight. And that's the weight that's the weight I'm gonna put my foot on. That's the foot I'm gonna put the weight on. So as I start, I'm gonna think about stepping onto my right foot, but I'm gonna pop my left knee. Now when I do a switch, I pop the right knee and I step on my left foot. So this first one, do it with me. I'm gonna talk about where I'm putting my weight. Remember, we're just doing a toe-heel switch. This is all we're doing in place. Okay, so I'm going to say where I'm going to put my weight, which is going to start onto my right leg. 5, 6, do it with me. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to start stepping onto my right foot, but I'm going to talk about the knee that pops out, okay? So this time, when I count you in, yes, we're going to step on the right foot, but I'm going to talk about the knee that's popping out. 5, 6, here we go. Left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee. Okay, so now as you're doing this, you can kind of get a feel of where the weight is as you're stepping. So I'm stepping right, left, right, left. But I'm exaggerating the knee movement. Let me turn to the side. Boom, boom. Now this is the craziest thing. I think also, oh, do we have a question already? Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Hey, Dad. Good to see you watching on Facebook. Okay, so this, the other thing as far as jazz movement, again, I said I think the coolest moves are just the walking moves. You're just taking steps, right, left, right, left, right, left, but you're doing it in a really cool, eccentric, funky way. Shorty George comes to mind, Susie Q's, and we can go over those later. But it's just walking, you're just stepping right, left, right, left. But now, if you just walk around the room, literally just walk around the room, and you've probably never thought of this before, but if you just walk naturally, you don't put a lot of emphasis on the knees, but when you step down, I want you to just walk and at some point freeze when you step down. So I just stepped onto my right foot and I froze, and I have a slight bend in my right knee and a bigger bend in my left knee. Now the thing is we do it so quickly. Like we're always in a rush, and of course we don't think about walking anymore. So when I walk and I'm not thinking about it, I do this very quickly. And by the time you finish the straightness of the leg, you're already bending and going to the next one. So here's what I mean by the coolest jazz moves are the walking moves. So now, if I just accentuate, okay, so step one of the camel is just doing this in place. Boom, boom, weight shift, knees moving forward and back. There's your first movement of the camel. Now we're going to take this idea and we're going to move forward with it, okay? Now the only thing we're going to change when we move forward is we're going to accentuate or exaggerate some of the movements. What I mean by that is I'm going to step forward onto the right foot this time. So remember, when we were here, I was stepping right. Well, I'm going to step forward with that foot, but I'm going to exaggerate the straightness of the foot that's going down, the right foot, and exaggerate the knee, which is the left knee. So rather than doing this in place, I'm going to talk about the weight, right, left, or talking about the knees, left, right. When I do this step, I exaggerate the lock or the straightness of this step, and I exaggerate the knee, and I might have a slight bend in my hips. And so it's that slight exaggeration. Now watch, I'm going to walk forward toward you. I'm going to do 4 in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that from behind. Let's try this together. So we're going to do 4 in place, starting to step down on the right foot, left knee pops out. 4 and 4, 5, 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3, move forward, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be your basic vanilla camel walk. And so earlier, I was doing this in place when I was rotating around. So now watch this. I'm going to walk right, left, right. So I'm going to change my direction. You can see when I accentuate or exaggerate how I'm stepping down, slight bend in the hips. This is your basic camel walk. But it's just walking really cool. Dee, 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 dee. So that's going to be your forward, okay? So practice in place with the knee and the lock, if you will, or the, think of it as a toe switch, switching the toes or stepping down the heels. And remember, the foot that you put the weight on is the straight leg, right? And so your weight is off of the foot that has the bend. And it's crazy. I'm gonna channel Maxie Dorf here. It's a natural move. You do that when you walk all the time. So again, outside, because now your head's like, wait, what? And then I think if you overthink any particular step or any jazz step, you mess it up. So don't overthink it. You're walking, but you're exaggerating that walk with that camel movement. That's what kind of makes it look really cool. Okay, so now outside of class, one day, just like as you're walking, just freeze. And you'll notice the foot that you have your weight on is the straighter foot versus the bending foot. Again, you can do that later. So now, here's some really, really slight, cool variations on the forward walk of the camel. I'm going to do it from the front because it's all about the knees. So if we are going off of this basic movement, toes and heels, knees and straight, and then I take this straight, so I'm going straight, 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 straight. Now we can do some very simple variations that make it look even different, more different. So as I'm walking, I'm going to think about out knees. So as I take this forward step onto my right leg and straighten it, I'm going to go out with this knee. And now as I bring the left foot and step onto my left foot, my right knee pops out. Boom, boom. So I have an even more accentuated look to the camel if I take it out to the side. Let me turn around. Let's do that together. So let's do this again. We're going to do 4 in place, 4 straight, and then 4, think about the knees going out. And again, don't overthink it. So we're going to go right, left, right, left. Now forward, 2, 3, knees out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you can really see that accentuated when you take the knees out to the side of the step. Let's do that again. 4 in place, 4 straight forward, and then 4 thinking knees out. 5, 6, 4 in place. Weights on the right, left, right. Move forward, right, left, right. Now knees out, 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 out. Okay, so there's our first really simple variation. Now, of course, if I could take my knees out, I can take my knees in. So once again, if this is our basic movement, and now I'm going to take it forward, 2, 3, 4. I can take it out, 2, 3, 4. I can take it in, 2, 3, 4. And so I think about bringing that knee towards the front rather than bringing it out. Okay, so let's do this again. So we're going to take, actually like we did before, let's go. I'm going to do 4 straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see I have a slight angle coming in for that for the in knee version. Okay, let's turn around and do it together. 4 in place, 4 straight forward, and then 4 think knees in. Again, don't overthink it. You're just stepping in a cool way. 5, 6. Here we go. We step right, left, right, straight forward, right, left, right, knees in, left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee. Okay, one more time from the front just so you can see that. So 5, 6, here we go in place. Step right, left, right, straight forward, right, left, right, left, knees in, in. Okay, so we obviously have the basic movement forward, and we're thinking about accentuating or exaggerating the straightness and the knee pop. And then we have knees out and we have knees in. So this brings up some neat patterns, some nice combos. And the first one I want to, it's really simple actually. You're just going to think out, out, in, straight. Out, out, in, straight. That's going to be our pattern. So as we do our camel, let me do that facing you. So we're just doing 4 camels. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just stepping right, left, right, left. But again, right now we're thinking about the knees a little bit. So I'm going to think out, out, in, straight. Yeah, and then I can repeat that. So watch, I'll do 2 in a row toward you. So I'm going to think my left knee, I'm going to step on my right foot, but my left knee is going to go out first. So I'm going to think out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight. Okay, do it from the back with me. Okay, we're going to start stepping onto the right foot forward. Left knee is going to go out. We're going to think with the knees out, out, in, out. 5, 6, here we go. Out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight. And so we're repeating that pattern. Notice left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee, out, out, in, out. So now let's start on the left foot going forward. So my left foot will start, but my knees are still going to go out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight. Okay, from the back. Start stepping onto your left foot. Right knee is going to pop out. 5, 6, here we go. Think out, out, in, straight, out, out, in, straight. Right? So I'm trying to remember, I can't remember where I learned that pattern. It was probably in a jazz routine, but in my head, when I was thinking about doing camels today, I'm like, I gotta share that out, out, in, straight, because it just has this really fun feel to it and a fun look to it. And again, you can just take these straight, 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 straight. There's 4 straights. So you can modify how your camel walks look just by adjusting where your knees kind of go out. So you can play with this. You can flip the pattern around, go in, out, straight, or just kind of keep playing around with it. Okay, any questions out there? I think we're looking good. All right, timing's good. All right, so now this next step, this is probably like what you normally will see. I think when people actually kind of either perform or they're really hamming up the camel walk, so to speak, because I'm going to call this the lock step. And it's doing the same exact thing we were doing, except that we're going to bring a foot behind. So let me show you what I mean by that. So instead of being here, and instead of going here, 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 I'm going to go here, here, there. So I'm going to go behind, here, here, behind, here, here, behind. Let me show you from the front. Again, instead of just going forward, 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 I'm going to go forward, forward, behind, forward, forward, behind. Hop, boom, hop, 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 boom, hop, hop, boom. Now you're doing this little, what I call a lock step. So the step is coming behind and you're locking one foot behind the other, but guess what? One foot is straight and the other leg is bent. Let me watch from this angle. So I'm going to go straight and I can camel, but notice I've done that lock step. So now my weight is on my left foot, and my left foot is straight and my right foot is bent, right? And so if I continue this, if you continue this to the same side, you just go straight, lock, straight, lock, forward, lock, forward, lock, forward, lock. So that would be the same foot. Let's do this together. So we're going to work on this lock step. We're going to step forward with our right foot. Forward. Remember, forward step is straight, left knee is bent. But now instead of stepping the left foot straight forward, we're going to take the left foot, lock it behind, and pop out your right knee. So now your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent. We go forward again with the right. Forward. So we release that knee, right knee is straight, right leg is straight. So now we switch left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, now from the front, you can see that I have this motion. Boom, hop, boom, hop. But I'm doing the same thing we were doing before, this motion, but I'm just taking that motion forward, and now I'm just adding an element called the lock step, locking my foot in. Okay, and so that's just repeating that lock step to one side. So I'm just going forward, lock, forward, lock, forward, lock. Now, let's take that to the left. So here we go. Together, we're going to take our left foot, we're going to step forward, lock it. Now I'm going to take my right foot, lock it behind, lock, and my left knee pops out. Now I step forward again, straight with the left leg, right knee pops out, lock it, forward, lock, forward, lock, forward, lock. Okay. Okay, so now let's do this together. So we're going to go 4 steps on the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're going to think 2 regular camel walks. Regular, regular. Okay, here we go. 5, 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, regular, regular. All right, this is going to be important in a second. Here we go. Again. So again, right foot forward first, straight. Lock that knee, then bring the left foot behind, lock step. 5, 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, regular, regular. Now the reason I wanted you to do 2 regulars is now your left foot is the straight leg, the left foot is the forward foot, and now we're going to go camel, pump, camel, pump, right? So we did 2 locking with the right, boom, 1 lock, boom, 2 lock, forward, forward, 1 lock, 2 lock, boom. Yeah, so now you're working both the right and the left. So anytime you want to switch from doing the lock step in one direction or one foot or one leg that's locking behind, just think pop, pop, 2 basic camels, and then you're doing the other side. So I might be doing this side, pop, pop. Now I'm doing the other side. Let's do this again. Okay, here we go. On the back, 5, 6, start to the right. Step behind, step 2 regular, 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 behind, boom, behind, boom. Awesome. So now, when we put, it looks very bright in here. So now, when we put this all together, so again, we're kind of building what you normally see as the camel. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think, for the switch kind of back and forth, I'm going to do it from the front with you. I'm going to think forward, forward, lock, forward, forward, lock, shot, boom, hop, bop, boom, hop, bop, boom, hop. And that pattern is really typical in performances and social dancing and whatnot. But this whole kind of like, think of it the way we built this. Forward, forward, camel, forward, forward, camel, forward, forward, camel. And that forward, forward will switch the foot that's locking you behind. Let's do this together. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start right foot. So we're going to think forward, forward, camel. 5, 6, here we go. Forward, forward, camel, or I should say lock. All right, so lock. So I lock that foot behind. Now I'm going to go forward, forward, lock. Forward, forward, lock. And now let's repeat. Forward, forward. One more. Forward, forward, boom. Let's do that one more time. Here we go, from the back. Okay, this time, let's start with the left foot so we can be ambidextrous. 5, 6, here we go. Forward, forward, behind, forward, forward, lock, forward, forward, lock, forward, forward, lock. So back in the day in my head, I used to say walk, walk, camel, walk, walk, camel, walk, walk, camel. And so this was just like that signature hook that foot behind camel step, if you will. But as I've learned this step over the years, this is just the basic movement of it, of a camel step, which doesn't necessarily have that hook behind, right? Now remember where we went with this. We went with this basic in-place switching toe heel, and now we went forward with it. So right here, this is the camel motion, all stepping forward, right? And then we took the knees out or in, and now we're just adding a lock step. And that lock step is really a cool part of it. Sorry, I cut my feet off there towards the end. Okay, so there you have the building blocks of the camel step. And now, if you think about this, when you walk and you take a step, that first step is like your direction, right? You push off the floor and I go forward, or I push off the floor and I go to the side, or I push off the floor and I go back. And so if you want to take your camels to the side, remember that first step is a lock step. So if you take your first step to the side, you can go lock, camel, lock, camel, lock. I'm talking about locking the knee that you step on. Lock, boom, straight. Let me say straight because we were talking about lock steps before. So now if I take this the other way, when I step out, I'm going to straighten the leg that I'm going to step on, then camel, right? So I pop that knee out. It's like a little side lock step. Straight, pop, straight, pop the knee, straight, pop, straight, straight, pop, straight, pop. And then anytime you want to change the directions, you take that straight foot and now you change the direction. So now, this is the fun part. This is where I kind of trick you into something here. So now, what if that straight step is back, right? And then you switch, and then you step back, and you switch, and you step back, and you switch, and you step back, and you switch. But what if you add a slide in that? So when you step back, you slide that straight leg, switch, slide that straight leg, switch, and if you do it really fast, now you're doing what we call the backslide, or the moonwalk, or what I would call a backwards sliding camel walk. Oh my goodness. Okay, so does that make sense? Like and then I started, I'm going to share all these videos when I'm done. I'll put all the YouTube clips, because what's really interesting is the camel walk is an early 20th century ragtime dance. It's part of what we call the animal dances. There was the grizzly bear, the camel walk, the turkey trot, stuff like that. And so it was actually kind of a partnered coupled thing, and this was considered kind of in the vaudeville flapper era, and it was considered vulgar. This camel movement with the hips and the feet with a partner, and so that was the early 20th century. But then in the 50s and 60s, James Brown, Sammy Davis Jr., like they're dancing it in their solo acts, and you see just amazing like variations on the camel walk and the movement. Like you want to talk about walking cool. Watch any James Brown clip or Sammy Davis Jr. clip. Now I remember Sammy Davis Jr.'s even pre-James Brown, he was a tap dancer and all that stuff. And now we take this into 1983, and there's that footage of Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, when he goes across the floor going backwards, and he called it the moonwalk. But if you really watch it, and I'm going to share a clip where they do it backwards, when they show it backwards, it just looks like a camel walk. It's actually pretty cool. So for me, I'm just taking the jump, if you will, to say that a backwards camel walk a little more detailed, a backward sliding camel walk is a moonwalk or a backslide. Which brings up the whole history of the moonwalk, which now if you want to look into that, this is what's really cool, I think, about that. If the hip hop dancers and stuff from the 80s and 90s, they think they invented all these steps, but you can pretty much find all of them from old black and white clips. So I'll share a link to 1925 Bojangles Bailey doing a tap routine. And how does he exit the floor in 1925? With a moonwalk, with a backwards camel. It's the coolest thing. So that's 1925. It's been said that Michael Jackson learned the moonwalk from a gentleman named Jeffrey Daniel, who was in Shalamar. I'm dating myself now. Cool band from the 80s. Soul Train dancers, stuff like that. The Backslide is what they used to call it before Michael called it the moonwalk. But I feel like I did a neat thing in tricking you into doing a moonwalk. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Let's work this together. All right, so remember, camel walk has this motion, right? And now if you get the hips, right, get a little bit of forward bend in your upper body, boom. All right, and again, you can accentuate it. Any like extra in the hips or extra in the knees and the locking leg. Now we took that forward, 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 boom. And again, if I accentuate the hips a little bit more, put some hands in there, now we really got this interesting step. Now when you see it from the front, that's okay. And now if you see it from the side or an angle, boom, you see this really interesting locking and popping of the knee. Then we took this idea and we took the knees out, right? And then we took this idea and we took the knees in. And then we created a combo, out, out, in, out, 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 in, out, out, in, straight. And then we just repeated that, out, out, in, straight, just playing with that. Then we added a lock step. So instead of forward, forward, we added a forward, lock, forward, lock. And if we start that with the left foot, forward, lock, forward, lock. Now the typical pattern for the jazz figure called a camel walk, and you'll see this a lot, you'll see forward, lock, forward, forward, lock, forward, forward, lock, forward, forward, lock, hop, boom, pop, boom, boom, hop. And again, you can take that knee out and in, add that with the lock step, and you're good to go. And then our last two, side, take the straight leg to the side, boom, pop the knee. So we're doing straight and knee, but we're taking it to the side, straight knee, boom, camel walks to the side, shoot, shoot, shoot. And then if you take camel walks back, you step back on that straight leg, back on that straight leg, back on that straight leg, back on that straight leg. But again, if we slide it, and it's all in the switch. All right, so we're here, take it forward, slide with it a little bit, and take it back. Yeah, it's just fun to start to play with the directions of this motion of the camel walk and moving it all over the place. Okay, so last thing, where do you put this into your social dancing? I kind of been saying this all along when we're doing all these jazz steps. Anywhere you want to. Sorry, it sounds easy. It's not easy, but think about any time there's a walking step or any step. Like you replace a triple with a step, and now you have a choice when you take that step. So it's like even when you do like a rock step. Now you can do a rock step. I just take a rock step, triple, a rock step. Like just pop the knee and think about the motion. If you're moving forward and you have like a rock step, step, tap, or the rock step, tap, Maybe I go rock, step, camel, rock, step, boom, pop, pop, pop. Oh my gosh, what year was it? 2002? There might be footage of it, I can't remember. I'm just throwing you ideas of like in social dance. So I just did some jitterbug stuff there. I was doing Balboa. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So I camel walk backwards, or if I'm leading and I want to go forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can do ad libs doing a camel walk motion forward, and my partner might be doing moonwalk or backwards camels, right? So just in pure Balboa. From a throw out in Balboa, leaders, 7, 8. Oh, sorry. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8. Right? So 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Like just taking anywhere you can think about starting to lock the knee, pop the knee, start to put that in. Anywhere there's a step, anywhere you can feel like you can kind of put that in to Lindy Hop, Balboa, anywhere. And I know that I make it sound trivial because like in the promo, I was like, I'll show you how to put it in your social dancing. And here I am like, anywhere you want to. So play with this, play with these ideas, play with the movement of the camel. What else did I want to mention? I think I talked about the hips a little bit that second time through. I'm going to share some footage of James Brown doing a breakdown of steps, and he only does camel walks really small, like a really small chunk of all the other stuff he does there. But what I think is really neat about how he does it is he does like a hit, boom, hit, boom, hit, boom, hit, boom. He like hits it and then drops it down even more. Boom, boom, bah, boom, bah. And so it's just like how you want to, again, accentuate or exaggerate this movement. It's really cool. So again, I'm going to share all those links here. I'll put this out on the Retro Rhythm YouTubes for our jazz series in doing some camel walks, and play with forward, play with knees, play with the lockstep, play with it sideways, play with it backwards, and master your moonwalk. And I'll share some clips about that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed tonight's College of Swing Era Knowledge jazz topic, with our focus being the wonderful camel walk. And as always, stay safe. Night, night. Crazy about you. Please donate, 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 donate. And hope everyone is safe and sound out there. Take care of yourselves and respect each other. Night, night.